Sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim-flam sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another week of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox at our new starting time. It's post time, 1 p.m., the traditional post time of all the best racetracks and live stream shows now. Again, coming to you on the South Florida Live networks on Facebook and YouTube, along with simulcasting on the tremendously entertaining and enjoyable, always for me, every weekend, Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group.
You went Meshuggah this weekend. Yeah. Again, with your, how do you feel about that, Mr. Fung? Wow.
They were getting
all over these people, man.
They
were all over you.
It was a bad weekend for me overall in terms of I didn't get out and do my walking and exercise. Instead, I fell into the abyss that is known as social media because, you know, that it ends up being like Saturday and Sunday mornings are like prime time on the Let's Eat group. It seems like everybody does their weekend dining and they all have to, you know, send in their reviews and their complaints and
which is what you want, though.
Oh, no, it's look. Yeah. I'm very gratified. Look, you saw when we go out now, people come up to me and they say, you know, I thank you so much. It's so much fun. It's entertainment. It's replaced the Sunday funnies. All these things that we hear, which is very gratifying. Except for me, I'm the one that actually has to wade through.
and you don't have the right temperament for this sort of thing.
No, not at all.
You really don't. Yeah. If you had a more cavalier attitude about stuff, and you know, criticism is not necessarily your favorite thing, but yeah, I mean, you just don't have the right temperament for social media, Mike Mayo. You get involved, which Lubie used to get heavily involved. Somebody would call up and say, you know what, your show sucks, and you and Defo should never be on the air anywhere again. You know, I'll hang up and listen, right?
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to say to this guy? I mean, okay, so well, that's his opinion. I'm happy to be in the business for like 40-something years. After a while, you develop at least a little level.
I have a thick skin,
yeah.
And I don't care if people rag on me all day long, but I just feel for these poor restaurateurs and things like, you know, I kind of threw a little post up this morning because I was thinking, you know, a couple of these complaint posts, and this woman who went to what's some place called something on the lake in Lake Worth, and
I saw that.
She orders a snapper oreganata. By very definition, oreganata is a seasoned fish, usually with lemon and oregano, and sometimes some other, nice, you know, olive oil and things like that.
Yeah.
So she said that the fish was inedible. Because it was so heavily seasoned.
That's tough to do when you got, you know, you serve something that's inedible in a restaurant.
Her complaint.
I mean, you can't even eat it, man. Forget about it.
Her complaint was that it was too heavily seasoned with lemon.
Okay.
Which is one of the components of oreganata. Like maybe just order a plain grilled piece of snapper and not the snapper oreganata if your taste buds are going to be a little bit averse to some flavors. And
she's entitled to her opinion. She trashed the place over that. I saw that. It was very negative, the review. It was very negative.
No, here's the thing. Her husband and a friend, I guess, split some big veal chop, pounded veal parm, which is all the rage now. And they said that was very good.
Oh, okay.
But then it was the snapper oreganata was inedible because of the lemon. And then she sent it back and then substituted a piece of salmon, but it came out raw. And then she sent it back again, and one side was burnt, the other side was still raw. And then, you know, I bet
they couldn't wait to get rid of her. Once
double send back. Like,
what eventually happened was she then wanted to order a meatball, and they said, no more food for you.
No mas, man. It's Roberto Duran. He had a couple of hot dogs before the fight.
It's not going to work because there are some people that maybe they should look in a mirror and realize the problem isn't with the kitchen. maybe the problem was with them, and that's when
it's hard to over lemon a piece of fish.
I was gonna say, isn't lemon
Yeah,
like
I
a big
mean,
part of the fish when you put the
I'm
lemon
squeezing
on it?
as much lemon on there. It comes with the little net. I always love that. So
I
the
love
fish
the
don't
net.
go flying. Yeah.
That's the mark
But
of a
I'm
really
using
good
all of it.
fish.
I'm using all of that lemon, man. I want as much of that lemon flavor as I can get.
I love the acidity, especially
Yeah.
when you have a piece that a fish that has like comes bathing in a little bit of butter, and then the
Yes.
acidity cuts the butter and the fat. And, but
It
again,
works.
I don't
It works
understand.
with chicken also. I mean, if you're cooking
Yes, a
chicken, you
nice
throw
piece of
some
chicken.
lemon on there before you get going, man. It's great.
And the other thing, again, so this woman, she sends back and then she gets the salmon. Why wouldn't you just say, I like my salmon well done? A lot of fine restaurants these days, the proper way to cook a piece of fish is actually undercook it. It's supposed to be a little rare in the center. I mean, that's if people know fish. Now, there's people of a certain generation that grew up where they had to murder everything. They murdered their chicken, they murdered their steaks,
My mother,
they murdered their
that's
fish.
how she was. Yeah.
My grandmother.
She
Yeah.
didn't cook that way, but she ate that way. That was a weird thing. She cooked the steak perfectly or a piece of fish, but for herself, I mean, well done to the point of like shoe leather. That sort of
No,
consistency.
and some people and chefs try to do fish properly so that you could still taste the flavor of the fish. But obviously, she wanted a totally overcooked piece of salmon, and she wasn't satisfied. And she sent it back, and they were like, "That's it, no more for you." And she was, and I just like, I slapped
After
my
2
head.
sandbags, I mean, that's enough, isn't it? Throw in
like
the towel. Yeah.
The 3 knockdown rule.
Yeah,
Mills
I mean,
Lane comes into
standing
the
8
table.
count. Right, exactly.
Just separates the waiter from the table. But I
Richard
was
Steele.
saying that how Food Network for a long time had this show with Robert Irvine, Restaurant Impossible.
Yes, Restaurant Impossible.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm saying
Frank Tallarico, I think, took part in it. No, that was
Bar
Impossible.
Rescue.
Bar
Different.
Rescue, yeah.
Yeah, and then
But was
also,
it the same? I mean, it was the same
No.
type of show, though, right?
yeah, these reality shows where they come into like
Oh, it's all
supposedly
BS. Yeah, completely.
faltering establishments and try to kind of reclaim it and refurbish it. But anyway, my thing that I posted this morning was I have a new concept for a show. I'm in development right now. I'm calling it Restaurant Guest Impossible. So it's applied to the entire.
It's not a bad idea.
Let's eat. You could just do some treatments based on the the various complaints that come
You're not particularly flattering in your comments that you made on that thread, as I recall, to that particular woman. The other place. What's the pizza place? It's getting just.
that Twisted Tomato up in
Twisted,
Delray
yeah.
Beach.
So what's the story there, Mike Mayo? What's the deal on
let's
that?
get into
Really?
that. I didn't want to we're going down a negative path, and today is a day of celebration.
But it seems like people like that joint, though.
But I
also.
wanted to. Can I say happy birthday to Lubie? We didn't even say happy birthday, Lubie, yet. So
There you
happy
go.
birthday, Lubie. It's a day of celebration.
Appreciate
All right. If you want to go down that twisted path of the Twisted Tomato,
No, just curious. I mean, while you were on the topic of the stuff that you were ticked off about on Let's Eat South Florida.
no, that woman actually had a justifiable complaint because that pizza. Again, I went there earlier. This
You weren't
year.
happy with it either.
Well,
Okay.
I sent you pictures that day. I didn't post about it. My new thing is I don't go out of my way to post negative stuff. But if somebody
You're
chimes
Mr.
in,
Positive now. It's great.
but if somebody chimes in about a place and I do have some background knowledge and I maybe have been there and I'll kind of chime in with my 2 cents. Now, this woman who went to the Twisted Tomato, she ordered Twisted Tomato is it's a place that opened earlier this year by a family. It's got an interesting story because the guy who is the proprietor and the head chef is legally blind, which lends itself to all kinds of
Maybe that's why some of those pizzas came out like that.
Well, no, the pizza. Okay. They make a style of pizza known as Old Forge, Pennsylvania pizza. You learn something new every day. I didn't
Old
realize.
Forge. Okay.
Old Forge is a town in Pennsylvania, in northeast Pennsylvania. Apparently, they have this particular style there in Old Forge that to me looks like glorified Ilio's pizza. It's just rectangular.
There's a lot of cheese. I mean, there was a lot of cheese on those pizzas. No.
Well, there's 2 kinds of, and again,
Sicilian style too. I mean,
it's a square, thin crust square, but it's not Sicilian. It's made with a kind of cracker-like thin square crust that's baked in a rectangle. They don't call them pies; they call them trays. They don't call them slices.
It's
They call
already
them,
scary, the semantics
A
of it.
lot of explaining.
Yeah.
they,
I
they,
You got a lot of explaining to do, Lucy.
okay. Let me just do it real quick. The Ford style pie. Okay, it's not a pie. It's a what did I just call it?
Tray.
It's not a. It's a what? It's a tray.
Tray,
Right.
you said, yeah.
Right. It's not a pie. It's a tray, and it's not a slice. It's a wedge. So you
A
get
wedge.
a wedge is, and the trays come in wedges of either. I believe it's 6 or 12 or
Who
18.
goes to a pizza place and orders a wedge? Get out of here.
Well, a wedge I know is a sandwich, but they call a wedge. All right. Then they have two styles. There's the red pie, which is the tomato sauce with the cheese, and then there's the white pie that has no sauce. This woman ordered a
No
white
sauce.
pie.
Wow.
It's kind of a classic white pizza in New York where you get ricotta and mozzarella and sometimes that third cheese, and it's all white and it's olive oil, and sometimes they put on some herbs and basil, but there's no sauce. There's no sauce. So this woman ordered a white pie, and then she was complaining about how dry and crappy it was, and how she had to pour on her own sauce when she got home. I would hope that she looked at the menu and noticed that there's a white pie that has no sauce. The tomato sauce is on the red pie. I got a red pie earlier this year, and it's not just like a classic shredded Parmesan mozzarella cheese. They have bizarre cheese blend of American cheese, cheddar cheese, and a little bit of mozzarella, and maybe what's known as brick cheese, which is used.
Is this the only place that does this particular style? I would think.
I could see
It
why.
seems like it. Yeah, I mean, it sounds too complicated, man.
Well, it's a different style, and people have got to
Yeah.
open up their eyes that there are different styles of pizza. And for people who are from the northeastern parts of Pennsylvania, appear to like this style. And some of those people, again, it rekindles that nostalgic flames, and they go there and they enjoy it. Now, people who are used to New York pizza, New Haven pizza, Chicago pizza, see this stuff and say, "Thus is thus. What is this?" And
Such ugliness. Yeah, I mean,
well, when I ate mine, the undercarriage was all right. It was crispy, but again, it reminded me of Ilio's frozen pizza with a little
All right,
bit more
yeah.
cheese.
not a favorable comparison that you were making there, Mr. Mayo. If,
It wasn't
people-
meant to be.
Helios is like frozen pizza scale.
It's like a frisbee. What are you talking about?
There are times when the level of intoxicants go to a certain point where the Elio's pizza will maybe suffice.
Sure.
Totino's wasn't great, but it was okay. Helios.
Elio's is bad. Huh? I'm not even familiar with the latest in frozen pizza. I would have to say.
Ellen Freed is on the chat line today, and I'm glad everybody found us at our new starting time of 1 to 2. But yeah, Ellen was there, and again, wasn't her type. She said, like school pizza? It was like cafeteria pizza.
school
The
pizza.
other day,
There you go.
It's like school pizza.
the people who are unfairly comparing Heritage's pizza to cafeteria pizza, they should go to Twisted Tomato, and then they'll
And
really
then they would
see.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Do
even
you have an option to get a sloppy Joe?
Yeah.
Is that the other thing on the
I don't
menu?
know. And I feel bad. Okay, this is a family-run place. They started
Yeah, it's
this year.
fine.
You know they're putting their heart
Hey,
and their
say they
soul.
must be doing well, right? I mean, people are talking about
I don't know
No,
about
they're
that because
going
the woman said she went on a Saturday night. It was empty, and she ordered, by phone in advance or online, and the pizza was already cold and it had already been
Oh,
sitting out.
geez.
I don't know. She shredded the place, and I was happy. The following morning, somebody came and leapt to the defense of Twisted Tomato by posting another post, a favorable one, and showed a tomato red pie that looked similar to the one I had earlier this year. That also.
So this is what made you Michigan, these two posts over the weekend?
No, a lot of things made me Michigan.
Okay, because it was natural. Sonny pointed out it was National Grouch Day.
Oh yeah,
On
perfect.
what, Sunday? Were you in good shape that day, or was
No,
that Saturday?
I was in full grouch mode all weekend.
I kept looking at my phone, and he was like, whenever he does I'm going to text like 40 texts.
Yeah.
I'm like, he can't be in a good mood. I'm like, I don't even want to
No,
read.
yeah, I just drop out of those conversations as quickly as possible. Pretend that I don't have my phone with me. But no, there were two incidents though that were very interesting that we really should talk about. You had the dessert tasting where everything was melting, and then
Yes.
and then what was this? Absolute gorgie that you attended at Skyline Chili. And how does
Yes,
that fit in
was-
with the new motif where we had to listen to your insufferable accounts of sugar content and calories and whether or not you can have
this-
a carrot or not, with with your lunches last week?
This was a weekend of self-sabotage and stumbling.
I mean, yeah, you
And
really
there
went
was
backwards into the
too
distant
much
past.
too much time on the computer, on the phone, and the let's eat. Not enough time walking and exercising. And then I had, I made this commitment to judge this event. It was a tacos. They build it as tacos and treats, and
Okay.
it was produced by these guys that are based usually up further north in the Fort Pierce area, and they came down. They're starting to do some events in the West Palm and Palm Beach area. This was at John Prince
Yeah,
Park
did you find
in
it
Lake
okay? I
Worth.
mean, did you need GPS for
I
that? Yeah.
did.
How was
Not
it? Nice?
hard to find.
Yeah.
So yeah. Have you ever been? It's nice. It's got a nice layout there. It's
Lake
on some
Worth,
lakes.
not necessarily on my list of high
It's
destinations, but I do go there to catch some music. Or at least I used to in the past. They have some nice bars there. Rudy's, I believe. Ruby's. It's either Ruby's or Rudy's. They have music every Wednesday. It's real
the
good.
park had it was a nice setup, and again, it was tacos and treats, so like sweet treats, and it was basically set up a whole bunch of different tents and food trucks, and they had a whole bunch of different representatives, purveyors. I'd probably say about 20 to 30 different
Were they aware of your
vendors.
somewhat aversion to Mexican food, so you weren't in on the taco dredging?
No, they separated us out.
Okay.
We had 4 judges for tacos and 4 judges for the desserts and the sweet treats. I got placed into the sweet treat judging. But the tacos, we did get some sloppy seconds because they would pass it out, and not everybody is eating every taco. So I did get to sample a couple.
Okay, now were they doing tacos, or
my-
were they doing like you hate different kinds of proteins in a taco shell? So that makes it.
There was a lot of traditional tacos. There was a couple of the vegan tacos and things like that. But yeah, mostly faithful representation. The best thing I had, and a lot of the new popular, the birria, the quesadilla tacos, which is fried with the salty broth on the side and all that stuff. The best bite I had among the tacos, and I only had like 4 bites of tacos. My Jeff Lemmerman, Chef Free Eats, was one of the taco
Good guy, man,
judges,
yeah.
along with a longtime friend. And,
He would be
publicist.
capable. I mean, he's
yeah.
got a wild imagination when it comes to food.
Oh yeah. He sent me over a couple of his favorite bites, along with Destiny Beck. Destiny Spang is a longtime publicist, and she was one of the taco judges, and she was feeding me too. But the desserts, we were in this tent, and it was only about, let's say, the feels like temperature was 98, and the feels like temperature in the tent was about 110.
Yeah, it looked sloppy.
Because
it really did.
They had the sides up on it, and it was broiling in there. We eventually got the organizers to peel off the sides, so we got a little bit of a cross ventilation and breeze going. That was good. But yeah, a bunch of these desserts contained ice cream and other frozen things. And one of them was like a churro that was like wedged into this soft serve. And as the soft serve melted, the churro just tipped over and it fell all over my judging score sheet. And then there was like fudge.
It looked
on
like
the
you were
churro.
scoring a fight ringside. And, one guy was bleeding excessively and it started to splatter all over your pad. I've had that happen.
I should have posted that to Instagram. I did not, but it was like, blood splatter on my sheet. It was chocolate churro splatter all over everywhere. Not a pretty sight, but we did have some good bites. And the judges, they reached a consensus. The other people, I wasn't enamored with it, but it was a very simple and clean dessert. It was a pecan cheesecake. I didn't really detect much pecan flavor throughout the whole thing. But it was a nice piece of cheesecake, and I just
You were overruled then by the other judges at ringside?
Yeah, it was these kids, all these bloggers and Instagrammers. They just go by looks. And
probably looked at you and said, "What do you know about food, Mayo?"
Nothing. Right. But the crust was soggy. It didn't do it for me.
Crust was
my
soggy.
favorite.
I mean, come on, you could never get away with that.
Well, I mean, I do make allowances for the humidity and the conditions, but this seemed like it wasn't a properly crisp crust to begin with.
So you had it like at the bottom of your list and it won?
Allowances.
No, it was like in my middle pack, but 3 of them had it highly rated. And I'm like, all right, who am I to argue? I'm not going to argue all day. I argue enough online.
So Michigana all weekend long. And then do you want to get into the other episode or you want to take a break first?
Well, wait, no, let me.
You might need to go to your corner and get freshened up.
We got to stagger this because we got after that dessert, and I did not fall into a diabetic coma, although I was just like, I was craving something really salty, and I just had a bite or 2 of tacos, and lo and behold, as I'm driving home, I remember, oh, I'm in Lantana, Lake Worth. Boynton Beach is on the
Oh,
way
geez.
home,
Yeah,
and
I
who's
saw
at
that too. That's
Nobo?
right.
Oh,
And
yeah, Tom.
Oh, my God. And what
and
controversy was sparked by a
because
picture? Unbelievable.
well, I didn't even know what were people saying on that. I missed all the drama.
The implication seemed to be from Tommy T that, I mean, and this guy meant nothing by this. And, that the reason he put your picture up was because it would, be influential that, hey, Mike Mayo, Mr. Big, comes and frequents my place, which the truth was, I mean, Heather had been, hospitalized, and
She'd been sick.
and you actually, I mean, sometimes it's hard to imagine this is the same guy that we deal with on the show, but you actually are a good guy and went by there for more than just the
Actually,
possibility of getting turned on to some free lasagna and a muffaletta. But you really are sincere. You care about people, which is remarkable. I mean,
Yes.
it's great. And so Tom, I guess, was getting some criticism from people online there that he only put that up there because it looked like you were shilling for the place.
Well, you know what?
Which
And
is,
this
a disgrace that people would immediately assume something diabolical. Now, if they had suggested that you were only there because you were schnorring for free food, I would have said, okay,
that's
that's
reasonable.
possible.
That's
But
reasonable.
Not shilling, Tom T. There's no shilling. That place is freaking amazing. Anything he does is
First
but
things
that
first.
was
as a long-
unfortunate that it evolved into that because you were doing a nice thing and he's
I
just
don't give a
great
crap.
guy.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
care what other people think, and this goes back to my newspaper columnist roots. The amount
You
of
hope
hate
they
mail.
hate you. You really do.
Well, I want people to have a reaction. When I was writing a column, you don't want people to be bored and just toss it aside.
No,
You
I
want
mean,
people to
a
either
bunch of
like you,
cliches,
love
yeah.
you, or hate you. Okay.
Well, the
And
government could be right. They could be wrong. You can't write that. I mean, that's
I
just not
didn't.
going to happen.
You guys have to take a stand. But the bottom line is, I have thick skin. I don't give a crap what other people think. Just don't come.
I'm
and
not
threaten
sure
me, and
about
then
that. That I'm not sure about.
You seem
Because
to
you
care.
carry a grudge longer than anybody. I mean, some waitress stiffs you on a Bloody Mary 2 years ago, and you still
That
can't let
wasn't
it
a
go.
waitress. That was a chain. That was
Well,
an
there you go.
entire
Exactly.
decision made by management.
Most people would have
okay?
forgotten about it
All right.
years ago.
You're getting me off the rails. Here's the deal. A couple of things. I don't care what the haters are going to say.
All right.
Haters going to hate.
gonna
That's
hate.
fine.
There you go.
Number two, I am solid with me and Tom T. I've been a big
He's a great
supporter of
American.
his.
He's great.
Since he
Yeah.
floated the idea of doing this, New Orleans, Louisiana cooking, and I came out and I checked it out. I love his food. I love him as a human being. I've gotten to know his staff. Heather was his, longtime assistant working, serving food. She got sick over the summer and she's back to work. Not only that, so my reasons for stopping off was twofold. Okay, threefold if I'm honest.
You saw that he had
Number
that
one,
new muffaletta bread.
number one, I wanted to see Heather and
All
say
right.
and welcome her
That
back.
was number one.
Because I
Okay.
really am, and again, just like it was great to see Lenore back at
Oh, yes,
Silver's last
absolutely.
week, it's great to see Heather back at work. And, again, people, when they get sick, they recover, they need some time, but they also need support and concern. I think she feels the love, and that's a good
That was
thing.
completely noble of you, Mayo. We admire
and-
you for that. We really do.
Number two, Tom T won a contest here. I don't see him on the chat line. He was texting me like always.
today.
Well, he texted me at 12, like, no show today. It's like, no, we got a new starting time. So he must be busy
Yeah,
with other things. But Tom T won a contest that the professor conducted a couple of weeks ago, and he won a gift card to Foundry, which is the professor's restaurant.
Which
that
I think he's going to
partnering.
like a lot.
So
Brunch. I would-
I had, Lubie gave me the card and said, next time you see Tom T, give him that card. Well, lo and behold, I said, great. I brought the card with me.
Oh, yeah?
And I was able to give it to him.
Nice.
He was very, he was like, you don't have to actually give this to me. It wasn't a fair fight. I'm a chef. I said, no, you won the contest. Rules are rules. That's it.
He was eligible.
So
yes.
he was eligible, and I gave him his card. That was number two. And number three, I did see the new muffaletta bread that he is getting. And
You
I
didn't
wanted
eat
to
that
check
whole
it out.
sandwich, did you?
No, he prepared a half of a chunk for me. So
Half of a
sliced
chunk?
it in. Well, like a muffaletta is a round
Yeah.
thing, right? And he slices it in half and then half again, quarters.
Okay.
He gave me 2 quarters. Even though I was kind of
That's
full
a half,
from the whole
Mike.
dessert thing. Well, he gave me a half, right?
2
But
quarters. He tries to reduce
well,
it down like he was on Weight
no,
Watchers.
because they were split in 2 pieces. I didn't eat the half. I
Ate
ate half of the
a quarter.
half. I ate a quarter. I scarfed it
All
down.
right,
It was so
all right.
freaking good. The bread was good. It has the right
It looked great.
consistency,
I mean,
not too thick.
looked amazing.
The meat
Yeah.
and cheese ratio
great.
and his gardenier
Ratios.
or whatever they call the olive tapenade that they put on top. Delicious. I brought back another quarter back home that my daughter ate after I picked her up from a party on Saturday night, and she scarfed it down. She said, "Oh, it's good."
Yeah.
So that went to good use.
All right.
And he also
We had the lasagna.
yeah,
Like you're not
The
gonna.
lasagna
gave me
is
the lasagna, and he gave me a little.
anywhere in South
Yeah, I was snoring.
Right.
I was snoring with the best of them, but
No, but you did
you
it
know,
under
that's-
noble pretenses, which is
Yeah.
good. I mean, you had
And
the
if he
gift
wants to
card
put a
and
picture up-
Heather. That was good.
If he wants to put a picture of me, I do endorse the place heartily. I think he does a terrific job, and I wish
part of a lot of conversations here on the show, no question.
I wish him nothing but the best. I know he wants to kind of maybe find a more permanent, place that people can.
I wish
find
he
him
had
on
one.
a
I
consistent
really
I
did.
wish he had more this way. I would go definitely at least once a month.
Yeah. It would be, maybe to the detriment of any kind of quest for, really good health. Because, I mean, look, it's a sodium bloodbath when you're eating Cajun food like that or New Orleans food. But if anybody does it right, I mean, it's as close to being in New Orleans, if not just like being in New Orleans when you eat his stuff.
Does not.
Yeah.
He does not overseason his
No,
food
it's
isn't
not
overly
overdone
spicy.
by any stretch.
It's not over seasoned. It's got flavor, but it doesn't
Always good.
It doesn't kill you, and it goes perfect with the beers there, especially like that jalapeno honey blonde that they have at Nobo Brewing.
You had a
You're going
jalapeno
to-
honey blonde? How
I
old
did.
was she? Are you going into younger categories
It's
now,
the
Mayo?
type
What's
of
going
beer.
on? Oh,
It's the type of beer. No, we've got. Wow, why do you get me all fachada? Like
come on.
Hey,
It's a Monday.
I
You're
know
having
it's
fun.
a money. Val is coming back. She's on
Nice.
a plane back from Italy right now. So I'm
All
looking
right. Well,
forward
you still
to
have
hearing about
10 hours.
her adventures.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, something like that.
Where are we going, man?
Hey, where are we going? Well, first of all, let's talk about the contest. We got to hail to the victors.
How did this happen?
This was
How many
crazy.
people hit
Okay,
this horse?
so this is the greatest performance in the history of the Lunchbox contest. We've been doing this now for how many weeks?
Not a year yet.
We're up
Don't
to,
remind
we're up to-
Joseph that the contract was up.
this was week number 45
Oh, jeez.
of the contest, and
Wow.
never before have we seen a display such as this. And it gives me before I announce who the winners was, this is the crazy part. Okay, the number 4 horse was the winner in the contest race at Gulfstream. The number 4 horse is named Mutaweed. Is trained by
I think I
Dan
smoked some of
Hertak.
that earlier this morning.
Mutaweed.
Weed.
It went off at almost 50 to 1. It paid
Hertak.
$101.
Wow.
$101 to win.
Woo.
That's a 50 to 1 shot. And I figure,
Nobody
nobody's
has
going to
that.
have that.
Nobody.
Well, I'm going to have to go to the number 2 horse and the second place horse. And that was a hard one. That was like a 15 or 12 to 1 shot. And 2 people had the second place horse. But much to my shock, not only did one person have the number 4 horse, 2 people had
Jeez.
it. And they're show viewer regulars. And they both have Las Vegas ties. So I'm saying the fix was
Wow.
in. Somebody knew something in
There's
Vegas.
something.
Or they saw Hertak
Because-
that morning. No, that would have been the day before they would have had to know about this.
Exactly.
I mean, imagine
The
being
thing
on a
is
tip on
this.
a 50 to 1 shot the
One.
day before. How do you even sleep at night knowing that you're getting on the
So-
track to cash on this?
So 2 people with Vegas links. One of your man Sheldon Glass, Shelley
Gee,
Glass,
man.
Sheldon G. All right, well, he's on.
He
He's
had
unlikely
the
to
number
cash that in
4.
because he's in
Yeah,
Las
he's
Vegas.
never
Yeah.
coming here.
and Sheldon is funny because a lot of times he'll enter the contest and get the restaurant completely wrong, like has no
the
clue.
horse?
Like, but pick the
Yeah.
horse, and like
Wow.
he just like butchers the restaurant,
sense.
like things that make. But this week he actually got the restaurant, and again it was the celebrating the stone crab season and the clue about the being catfished online,
Yeah.
the deceptive online persona beats Truman. That's reference to Dewey beat Truman. Catfish Dewey's was the name of the
Very
restaurant.
cleverly positioned by you. I mean,
Thank you.
That was
Thank
good.
you very much. So Catfish Dewey's was the answer to the restaurant. The number 4 horse Mutaweed was the winner at 49 to 1. Not to be confused with the race favorite number 10 Marwad. Marwad
Yeah.
is not Mutawid, but
Maybe
they
that's
both
what they
have
thought they were
Arabic
picking,
names.
right?
No. Marwad, number 10, ended up being the favorite because the morning line favorite, number 11, Fly the W, was a late scratch. All the people who picked Fly the W got number 10. Number 10 was up the track. Number 4 galloped home at $100 win ticket.
Did you have a piece of
hope-
this, Mike?
Really,
Mayo?
I did
and it
not.
makes up a good point. Like if you're Sheldon G and you are a degenerate who gambles, don't you bet on the horse? Like if you pick a 15-1 shot,
Is Sheldon out there?
aren't you
You call him
making
Shelly or
money by
Sheldon?
getting
Sheldon G, man.
Or is a great
Sheldon G.
is a great.
I would hope that a guy
Would
who
you put money on
plunges
that
the way
horse?
he does I would hope he had at least 20 to win on it, but I don't know.
This
Now,
man isn't talking
part
terms of
2.
20s. I mean, he would have had maybe 2 dimes to win on the horse.
Well,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about 51.
that would be good for him. If there were
The
2
odds
dimes on
drop,
the horse,
right?
it wouldn't have been 100 to 1. It would have been more like 20 to 1.
I don't know if it
But
would
if you
reduce
put
it
a
that
couple
much. I mean,
hundred-
when you look at all the money that's spent all around the world on an individual race, what would it take to
Gulfstream's
influence the
11th
odds
race.
that much?
I didn't look at the total
No.
win pool. I'm not going to go that granular. All I'm
You
going to
might,
do
though,
is
'cause that's the way you are, Mayo.
I was looking through the list, expecting to hail Sheldon G as the winner, and lo and behold, who also picks the number 4?
Vegas Steve.
But our man,
Vegas
and
Steve?
he's a show regular. He comes out to our remotes and supports us. Vegas Steve,
Wow.
Steve Kornbluth. Now, I think his MO is I think he always picks the number 4.
Oh,
That's his
okay. Well,
lucky
that could
number.
be.
Eventually,
I was looking back at some
Every
of
now
his
and then,
previous
it's dividends,
entries,
yes.
and it looks like he picks number 4, just the same way Bonnie always picks the number 8. Some people have their lucky numbers. So Steve Vegas Steve picked number 4. Then it comes down to the football tiebreaker,
Yeah.
and this is where it gets really impressive and interesting. Sheldon G took the Dolphins by 28 points,
All right.
and Vegas Steve took the Dolphins by 21.
ooh, he nailed it.
and
Yeah, right on the head.
the guy nails it.
Yeah.
Not only does he hit a 50 to 1 shot, $100 horse, he hits the number right on the
But Mike
button.
White screwed Sheldon G because
Dolphins.
if Mike White doesn't throw pick 6, then Sheldon G's right at 28.
Yeah.
Right. But things happen. And even when it was 14, Steve K would have been the winner because 21 is closer to 14 than
It's kind
28
of a
is.
28.
But,
Some contest, though.
but
Mayo. This
but
might have been
then
the wildest finish ever.
I know. And it's I'm going to proclaim Vegas Steve as GOAT, the greatest of all time when it comes to the
That was a good
Lunchbox
one, yeah.
contest. Because to hit a $100 horse and
And
then
the
nail
score.
the tiebreaker right on the money. Dolphins 42, Carolina Panthers
Nobody
21.
ever hits the tiebreaker on the head. I mean,
No.
that never happens. Any pool I've
That's a
ever been in, the
21
tiebreaker is usually like
And
way
lo
off.
and behold, Vegas Steve, I communicated with him. He will be around on October 29th. So he is going to be joining the Lunchbox Brunch Bash
Joe Baines is
festivities.
going to take a bath unless some people come out.
No, it's good. Look, these are all winners. Eventually, they're going to show up. Might as well just ease the pain
Yeah,
and
get
get it
them
all
all
out
out
of
there
the
at
way.
once. Yeah. It is a buffet after all.
$20.
so.
Sheldon G did have $20.
Oh, Sheldon G. 20 across the
Oh, he
board.
did. Oh,
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Good for you,
That's
Sheldon G.
beautiful. Sheldon G, that is such a noble effort that you did. If you're ever in town,
Hey, what's
you can come out to Gulfstream. It'll be on us or Joe B or whatever. But Vegas Steve is going to be back in town in South Florida. He goes back and forth, and he's going to be joining us. And I think now we're going to have a total of 8 winners, plus their guests, plus some extra add-ons, plus other people are welcome to join at a discounted rate of $40 per person, plus tax and tip. So if anybody out there in the audience wants to join us October 29th, it's shaping up to be about 40 people
Wow.
now.
That's
About
How many
paying.
are freebies?
No, half.
half,
You know,
okay.
it's going to be 16 people are going to be on the house on Joe B, and the rest are going to be paying their own way on the discounted price. Except maybe me, you, and Lubie will be out there.
Oh, no, we're freebie artists.
to,
No
to
question.
celebrate. Yeah. But it's going to be a fun time. So again, RSVP to me at MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. Just tell me the number in your party and your name, and I'll put you down in the book for that Sunday, October 29th festivities. Going to be a lot of fun. So,
That's
right.
better than the finish at the Masters, you know, when like 3 guys are in a dead heat going to the 17th.
it's crazy.
That was amazing.
I was watching that
Sheldon
thing.
G
I was-
and Vegas Steve both nailing $100 horse. Now Vegas Steve did it by some kind of bizarre arbitrary. Oh, look at you with your stone crown. Well,
Guess where I went tomorrow? And this brings us
that
into
had to
our
be
first spot.
Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, no?
I did.
What do you got there?
Can you
You
believe
you buy
this?
the
I actually
mediums
went.
because you calculated the value, right?
These are large,
Those are
my
large?
friend.
Okay, nice.
Okay, my annual tradition, just to say, and right on cue this morning, I walk out there and it is like, boom, stone crab season is here, dry season is here. It was beautiful out. And that's why I just kept walking. I went out for my walk of life this morning. I
I saw
kept
you did like
going
5
and
miles,
going.
man. That's
I
remarkable.
did 5 miles. I didn't even break a sweat.
Nice.
It's like just,
It was nice
it
out,
was so
yeah.
pleasant out there. And then right after the walk, I hop in the car and I said, you know what? I know we're going to be eating stone crabs at Delaware later this
So
week.
you had to get some,
I-
like, you're going to be eating them like today, tomorrow, and
every day.
Thursday.
I got to get my gout pills ready, Defo,
You better
because
have somebody
tomorrow.
ready to amputate your big toe. I mean, come on, that's going to be throbbing.
But look at these beauties. So today I just said it kind of became an annual tradition. We're a celebration of life. Of we made it through another storm season. I know it's not the official end, but it's
It looks good, man.
feel
Now, did you crack them in the style that you were taught at Delaware?
So
taught you.
who did I see there? I did not crack these myself at
Gene?
home. Gene
Oh,
was out
Gene,
there.
the cracking
Jose was
machine,
out
yeah.
fishing. Jose was out searching for the next batch of stone crabs. But Delaware Seafood is the place to go for the fresh catch of stone crab claws and everything that you might want from the seas, whether it's the Florida lobster tails, which are still in season, along with the fish. Oh, man, I was looking at the fish display today. Snapper they had in was looking
good,
so
yeah.
beautiful
Nice.
and reasonably
Don't put
priced.
too
At
much lemon on it, though. You can put. You don't want to put too much lemon.
Don't put too much lemon
No,
on there.
no.
No seasoning. Make sure
Not
it's
the
just a plain
oregano,
piece of fish, my
just
friend.
simply grill it. They also had grouper that looked fantastic.
No
the
salt, no
swordfish.
pepper, nothing.
We love Delaware. I'm going to eat this in the next segment, but I just want to tell you that they do have the supplies are in all day today. They're open till 6 p.m.
Nice.
If you don't make it today, tomorrow, Thursday, they might get wiped out because we're going to be in there for our monthly
You
visit.
alone, I mean, could take them.
And Gene said, "Oh, we're going to have this for you Thursday." I was like, "Yep, but I'm going to pay my own way today and eat myself a couple
Really?
of stone
Get out of
crabs
here.
for
You
lunch."
offered cash?
Yeah,
Oh, you paid.
I did.
You paid?
I
Wow,
paid.
he
I
was
paid.
there.
Wow.
I
Well done.
got the receipt and everything. You know how
What's
it
the
works. If we're
receipt
not
here on
doing
the
it,
show?
if we're not doing a show, on the show they feed us and slaughter us because it's for promotional consideration. But when I'm out and about, the Gambling Gourmet, I will pay my own way. And again, for a quality product such as this, everybody should go out
It looks
there, even
good.
if you don't
It
like
really
stone
does.
crabs.
You got the mustard
get
there
the-
handy or no?
I
No?
do. I did.
What would you do? You go
mustard
mustard on that?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
mustard sauce. I didn't melt any butter. I'm going to get into this in a minute, but as I'm cracking this and removing the shells, and there's knuckle. 4191 North State Road 7 is the address in Hollywood, right across from the classic Seminole casino there, the old bingo hall. There's a big chicken on the roof. Maybe they should put a big stone crab claw on the roof.
Yeah,
too.
they're known for it. I mean, the freshness there is unparalleled anywhere in
smell it.
terms of these type of places. I mean, there are a lot of good places, but Delaware really stands out in that
It's not like we're
regard.
in the middle of the ocean. Like
No.
whenever we walk in there, I'm like, it feels like we're on the beach. Like when the way
This is my
you know,
first little morsel. I got a knuckle, a little piece
All
of
right,
knuckle meat.
well, Mayo slobbers that down. We'll go to some commercial messages of great
Oh
importance.
wait, but let me just tell them.
Yeah.
Delaware's open
I
7
mean,
days.
finish the spot at least before you start, gorging
Oh, yeah.
yourself.
I'm sorry. Well,
It's disgusting.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
but
Give the
no,
people a
but to
break.
put on the air my first bite of stone crab of the season. Oh, and it's again, things are happening. The endorphins are being released. Body parts are firming up.
I
and
think
getting all-
you're ingesting too many gummy bears. I really do, man. You've lost your mind.
you're really
All right, we're coming back. More.
No,
more
wait,
Mike
Delaware.
Mayo.
Wait. DelawareChicken.com is the website.
Yeah.
Go on there for the weekly specials, the daily offerings. You'll find everything you need. And better yet, come on out to the store. See us this Thursday or anytime this weekend. Perfect time to pick up that first batch of stone crabs for the football festivities.
All right, you done? All right. We're coming back with more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me. I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices, served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent. Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Okay, look at this, guys.
That's a nice.
I peeled the shell off of this large crab. Now all I've got is pure crab meat, the little cartilage in the middle there. But I'm going in.
So Joanne asked, and I figured when we were there Thursday, we'd talk more about it. But she asked, so might as well answer. What are they pricing it at? I know every season it's different, and I know they have like a different. They have like 3 or 4 sizes at Delaware. What are they getting you for? Right now?
Hold on, I gotta just. Oh my gosh! This is not overrated. All right,
it's fine. Well, how much are they charging right now? Joanne asked the question, so I want to get her answer.
I was in there. Let me get all this meat out of my mouth right now. Oh, so succulent, so good. I got large today. Usually I get mediums. Mediums are going for $34.99 at Delaware today. First week pricing is usually a little bit higher because of the demand. I think in a couple of weeks, mediums should be down in the $29 range.
Oh, nice.
You see them at different places at different price points. Some of them have it at 27, some 29. But today at Delaware, $34.99 for the mediums. But their mediums now are really big. They look like the old large used to be because the state actually changed the size requirements of the minimum that you can pull out. So mediums are larger now. Everything is getting a little bit larger. And I got 4 large, and that was a little over a pound. Large is priced at, I believe it was $46.99, about $47 a pound. Jumbo was in the, I think it was $60, and the Colossal was $74. The Colossal is really colossal. But it was again, it's the beginning of the season, and it is a delicacy. It usually kind of fluctuates and maybe gets a little bit. It comes down a little bit in a couple of weeks, but again, during the Christmas and New Year's holidays, it peaks again because there's big demand. Jumbo $69 a pound, $68.99. Colossal $73.99 a pound at Delaware today. And they did look quite colossal, so they're big. So anyway, Defo, I know you won't be spending anything on stone crab, but you will be eating them later in the week. And tomorrow we're going to be at Luke's
if we
Seafood.
can get a couple of them,
any
wrestle them away from you. I don't even know if Ric Flair could possibly, when a platter of stone crabs comes, get his share with Mike Mayo hovering over the tray, as they say.
When you clean off and eat all the meat off of the claw, what you're left with is this like dorsal, I guess it's like a piece of cartilage that's in the middle of the claw. You don't want to chew down too hard anytime. No, that is not edible.
Showing us this thing.
I'm showing this because a lot of rookies that aren't familiar with stone crab, they'll make the mistake of biting all the way down on the claw, and then they snap this in two and they start chewing on this. The key to eating a stone crab successfully
is to have somebody else pay for it.
You dip. Yeah, that too. You dip this in, but when you bite down on it, you don't bite all the way. You bite until your teeth feel that little piece of cartilage, and then you pull away like this.
I mean, is it that hard? What?
Yeah.
I didn't find it that hard to eat this.
I mean, do we really need the Tom Umansky tape?
It's hard to get it away from you.
Basics of playing baseball there, where they show you in 6 different motions.
What are you eating with?
Most people know this. What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
It's like you're doing a porn film here.
Euphoric. He's like licking it.
Oh, it's succulent.
For me, it is very, very sensual. And
it didn't appear that way. It just looked like a.
I know oysters can be an African.
Same way you slobber over that,
can be an
Skyline chili hot dog.
I've never heard of a stone crab be aphrodisiac. Oh my god!
Like don't even bother, Lubie. Don't bail him out. Let him hang him.
All right, Lubie. Just tell me about your birthday. Do you have any birthday traditions? And what is your cake? Your traditional birthday?
Tradition? No, I don't know. Do people have traditions? The tradition is it's funny. Like with Shirley and I, because I don't like asking for gifts because I really don't care about things. I just have never been I want like if I need something, I go and buy it. Like I've never been. I want this, I want that. Like that's just not how I grew up. So when we first started dating, we did trips because we both like traveling. So we would do trips. Life happened, weddings, and then buying houses. So we've sort of stalled on that. But what I like to do is just spend time with people I give a crap about. So like we'll go out with my family, we'll go out with her family, and we'll go out with my friends. So that's really the only tradition. Cake wise, cheesecake is actually my favorite kind of cake. If we're calling cheesecake a cake. But I don't eat ice cream cake ever. Like you never just get an ice cream cake. Like that's not a normal thing. So I'll use
That's mine. I get for my birthdays in June, and it's Fudgy the Whale because it's always around Father's Day. I like
Carvel cake. Like that says birthday to me. A Carvel ice cream cake says birthday.
But you said you don't like ice cream.
No, I like ice cream cake. It's just how.
Okay.
Like when you go and get dessert, you're not getting an ice cream cake. Like to me, you rarely get it. So it's like perfect for a birthday.
Right. Oh, well, then me and you are aligned. I do love a good Carvel ice cream cake. Usually this time of year, there's no fudgies because that's for Father's Day. I make a combo fudgy birthday Father's Day cake. And, but you can get those round cakes. Yeah. And I got to put in the plug for the Carvel on State Road 84 and what is it? Hiatus Road. It's excellent. And it's run by a nice couple and they support my daughter's school. She hit them up for the scoreboard advertisement and the banners that they hang around the football field. And they've been a very supportive of Natalia and her
scores a lot. People are staring at that freaking scoreboard with that team.
And they kept popping up Carvel ice cream every time there was a Heritage touchdown.
On their part. Jesus.
Man, you would have thought it was Broncos Dolphins there, the way that Heritage was running it up. It didn't get to be 70-20, but it was 63-16 was the final last Friday for senior night. Very proud moment. And that started off the weekend in a good frame of mind, but then everything went to hell there, Defo. Defo, did you make it out to the your pari-mutuels?
Did not. No, took it very easy this weekend in terms of gambling enterprises. Had
Really?
that.
Even with the Mustang gone, I'm shocked. I would have thought you would
You
be
know what?
like
I just
24-hour
I had made
jet.
that little score before we left Gulfstream, and I decided to just sit on that.
I'm
I did
shocked.
make a little football wager that cashed, so that was good. And other than that, nice quiet weekend. That was great.
Good. And we had success with the Dolphins, and they keep rolling along. And a weird week. I mean, all those undefeateds falling to unlikely teams. So the 72 Dolphins, the ones that are still around, they were popping champagne last night.
And I know
And
yeah,
both,
people around the country kind of resent that tradition. I think it's great. I really do. It's kind of a cool thing. They have the lone distinction. I mean, think about that. It's stacked up. But what holds up since like 1972? Not even me, right? I mean, in sports, you usually have somebody comes along and eclipses even the most royal of distinctions. But no one's been able to do it. It's amazing, and it's less and less likely because they keep adding more games in. So where the Dolphins were able to do it across 17 games, now it would take 19, I guess, to get it done. So
no,
not
no,
easy.
you know,
Patriots came
I
close that
used
one year, and kind of just missed in the Super Bowl.
this is something that belongs to them, so they feel a little bit possessive of it. I always thought it was like one of those things like nothing anybody else ever does, even if they match another perfect season, could diminish or take away what the 72
That was
Dolphins
great.
did.
Yeah.
But if they want to have that as their little thing, especially as their ranks thin, and it's a tradition, and
It's kind of cool. All
I'm,
these old geezers
I'm
get
okay.
together and pop a cork of champagne, on a champagne bottle, and they all celebrate their accomplishment from
Yeah,
27 plus
I
23,
think
50 years ago.
the picture that was being circulated yesterday wasn't them together. I think that was from one of their reunions because I saw some people in the picture that are no longer with
Yeah,
us.
no,
And I
it's kind
think
of tough.
they,
Yeah.
they don't get together anymore, but they all just individually, respectively pop.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the,
corks and-
some of the key players, unfortunately, are gone. But you know what? You still see them circulating every now
Yeah.
and then. You'll see a player from the 72 team and say, wow, fantastic. And they're very proud of this accomplishment. Hey, look, I mean, were it not for the Buffalo Bills, you would have, you'd have the Dolphins undefeated. And if they had caught the Bills last night instead of when they did, they probably would have been in a pretty good spot because the Bills didn't look like much last night.
Let's give a hat tip to your one of your handicappers on your morning
Had
show
the
on
guts,
Degenerate
Mark Lawrence,
Friday.
to take the Giants.
Mark Lawrence was touting the Giants, getting the points, and saying Buffalo was going to have a London hangover, even though Buffalo lost. And I thought they were desperate for a win, but they just looked like, well, they end up winning, but the Giants covered.
And the Giants, you could look at, that thing that happened at halftime was an atrocity. Otherwise, they had 12 seconds to go. They had a
bad
first
coaching
and goal
again.
from the 1, and they run the ball, get stuffed, and they don't get another playoff, not even a field goal attempt. Ridiculous.
I still don't understand how coaches make all these millions of dollars and be such complete idiots when it comes to the basics of the game. When they're faced up, against the running clock and you don't have timeouts, I would think that you throw the ball, and either you have a touchdown
for
or an incompletion.
2 passes before they even had to. They still could have kicked the field goal and gotten 3 out of it.
This is why me and you don't get the big bucks. We
How
don't know
stupid
how
can
to
you
fail
be?
forward.
It's ridiculous.
So anyway, hey, I want to. Well, we got to do another break already. Man, this hour is going by. I'll get into the massacre that was my Skyline chili orgy yesterday after the next break. But first, I got to talk about the fine folks at the Rappaport Restaurant Group, and we're going to be out at Max's Grill later this week on Wednesday, celebrating fall and some of their new fall menu items with their head chef. Max's Grill has been there in Meisner Park in Boca for over 30 years, since 1991. Delicious modern American cuisine in a stylish yet casual setting. They have an outdoor patio, lively bar. It's the place to see and be seen at Meisner. They've got a sushi bar because so many people love sushi. They've got a dry aged steak program now. We saw that impressive little the case that they have, that they're dry aging some nice prime cuts of beef. And you don't want to miss their longtime signature dishes like their radiatore pasta, bacon wrapped meatloaf, salmon, and the sun-dried tomato hummus with Parmesan breadsticks. And again, it's open daily with live music Wednesday through Sunday at Max's Grill. They have great weekend brunches and all kinds of other happy hours. For reservations and more information, go to maxsgrill.com. We'll be there Wednesday. And don't forget the other Rappaport restaurants. Deck 84 on the Intracoastal in Atlanta, Delray Beach. Burton Max's out West Atlantic in the Delray Marketplace shops right by the Turnpike in Delray. And Prezzo, the great modern Italian American comfort food. You'll find those in Boca Raton and Palm Beach Gardens.
Always a great stop. Anything that Bert Rappaport's connected with, first class, as we often talk about. Lucky to have a lot of these types that are big promoters and sponsors of the program. So, yeah, check it out. Any of the Bert Rappaport restaurants, all four of them are just absolutely dynamite. All right, coming back to wrap up today's edition. New time slot here.
What do you think? Is it fits the flow? I like it. I didn't feel rushed this morning.
Right,
I could walk an extra mile. I could go get my lunch and actually eat on the show, which I know you love.
People's favorite.
It was particularly disgusting today, but it's your show. I mean, we don't make comments about this.
I think it's funny.
Just observe it. All right, we'll come back and wrap this mess up in a moment.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. It's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. It's good to see Andy on the chat line. He says, out of all the shows we've done at 1 o'clock, this one is by far the best.
I agree.
So that's good. But the first of many. And wow, it's already 2 o'clock. We've run out of time before I could talk about my sojourn to Skyline. I got knocked out of a poker tournament early. I played the seniors tournament. That's a reality check. 50 and over at the what used to be the Isle Casino, now Harrah's in Pompano Beach. And I made a misread and got knocked out in the first hour. And I was so mad at myself. I said, what can I do to punish myself more than anything else? Drove straight to Skyline Chili. And I was just sitting alone at the counter there and just licking my wounds. And I look over and there's a guy who, again, I used to work with the Sun Sentinel. Rich B was there, and it seems like we're stalking each other. Sometimes he shows up at where we're doing shows, and he was at Wicked Cheesesteak. Brian sent me a picture of him and Rich B eating a lobster roll. I think it was on Saturday.
Nice.
And then lo and behold, Rich B is there at and he just looked up and he goes, "You got to stop stalking me." And but I went over to his table. Apparently, it's his tradition. He goes every Sunday during football season. He spent time in Cincinnati, and he has a brother that lives in Cincinnati, and he gets apparently they have a Skyline chili burrito that's covered in like sour cream along with the chili. He gets 2 coney dogs with the chili and all the crap and the cheese, and he gets a small 4-way, which is that chili spaghetti. He takes a picture of it every week and sends it to his brother. I don't know why. Tradition.
Is his brother in prison or something? I mean,
or just takes a picture of it. Like
he sends it to. I don't know. I didn't get the full story. I was kind of half paying attention because I was also diving into. I got 1 coney and a big, large 4-way, and it was so good. And then I just hated myself the rest of the day. And I went on Let's Eat. Was just hammering everybody and watching the Dolphins and all that. It was a magnificent day. And then no more carbs for the rest.
Before we go, I do want to make sure we send our love to Tropical Acres Steakhouse, as it is a Monday, so you get half bottle of wine. Great happy hour specials, and they still have, you're talking about seafood and shellfish, that great lobster.
Twin lobster
special.
Twin Maine lobsters, another month. And they are going to have some stone crabs in also.
Nice.
I'm not sure if they have them in tonight, but they usually get some stone crab claws in for both appetizers and main courses. You'll check it out, the deli specials at Tropical Acres. Go there, 2500 Griffin Road. And did you see there was a couple of first-timers that posted about it on the Let's Eat group, and nothing but love and praise, which I love to see, because somebody posted a picture of their beautiful medium rare prime rib, and they were raving about it. They got the small cut. It was $29 with the salad inside, and they were just gushing about what's taken us so long. I don't know what everybody says, why people say that it's old. It was brand new and refurbished, and they got new floors and those nice ceiling fans. So these people get it. Go there, try it for yourself. We love Tropical Acres and the Studiali family. They are doing something right. Been in business over 70 years. All right, that's going to do it for today. Defo, you're going to be coming out to the Luke's Seafood tomorrow?
I'll be there,
Yeah, Luke and his wife, a really, really nice couple. We try to support the small independent mom and pop restaurants out there. He just started a couple of months ago. That's on University Drive, just south of Griffin Road there in Davie. So look for us tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll be the ones scarfing down stone crabs. Until then, for Lubie, happy birthday. And Defo, have a great rest of the day and enjoy every stone crab. Enjoy every